Big L, Prodigy, True Goy, they live. Martyrs, if you will, a legend has a cartel. I'm on jets with giants of
Bills. What up, people? What up, people? What up, people?
Happiness gotta be in you, money can't help. So salute to the men that never hit the pin black.
All right, so ain't got the headphones on. I'm live from my bedroom and all that. I want to just put y'all folks on. It is that day. I could have did this like last night, but I had to go in and listen to the album. I listened to the album in its entirety, and man, do I have some things do I have some input to make? Do I got some takes to make on this album? As y'all know, is Nas and DJ Premier Day. The day they dropped the Light Years album. This is a collaboration album between hip hop's finest, one of the greatest MCs, coupled with one of the illest hip hop producers of all time. DJ Premier and Nas, they have collaborated on numerous tracks in the past. If I could run down the material that they worked on in the past. I mean, everything from the Illmatic stuff, like, Illmatic, New York State of Mind, that supposed to be New York State of Mind Part 1. That's off the Illmatic album. I Gave You Power, off the It Was Written album. Nas's Like, off the I Am album. Second Childhood, off the Stillmatic album. Represent, another classic. I think this was probably like the third Primo joint that showed up on the Illmatic album. And then Memory Lane, which is my favorite. I think that was like right in the middle of the album. Memory Lane, Sitting in the Park. That was off the Illmatic album. New York State of Mind 2, that showed up on, I think that was Set It Off track at the beginning of the Part 2. I mean, the beginning of It Was Written. I'm my fault. I Am. Come Get Me off the Nostradamus album. Big Beat Breaks. This was a compilation joint that Primo and I think Primo had put out some collaboration album. It was called the Hip Hop 50, Volume 1. I mean, he had a slew of people that he produced. He produced the track, and they all just went in on the beat. Like, they all was on that joint together. It was 5 tracks off that 50-50 of Hip Hop 50 Volume 1 joint. Define My Name. That joint came out this year. Define My Name was supposed to be the set off track for the coming of the album. So Define My Name did not show up on Light Years. It was supposed to be the track that was supposed to introduce the Light Years album. And then you got the Kanye West, Nas, KRS-One, Rakim joint classic. I think that was what was that? I think it was a Nike ad. They did that for that. I could be wrong. Yeah, but I think that's what it was. But Primo, backed up. He backed up with the production on that, and everybody did their thing on that track. So that was another one of Nas's highlights in his career. When given the fact that him and Primo have frequently collaborated. Turn Up the Mic. Nas showed up on Primo and Bumpy Nuts album, The Collection. I think it was called Collection. Go to the album. It's called Collection. So it was Nas. He was a feature on that album. And then we go to Nas DJ Premier Regeneration. This was one of those experimental joints. I think they wanted to capture the essence of them two frequently collaborating on a joint. So them two decided to get on some operatic type of track and capture that essence of Primo and Nas. Again, it was a dope joint, but we've actually, I said, to me, it was an alright joint. You know what I'm saying? It was short lived though, but it was good for what it was worth. And I don't know why I have this joint, the Genesis. The Genesis here, that's I believe that's a Primo joint. I'm not sure, that was on the beginning of the Illmatic album, but I'm gonna have to check the credibility on that, if that is actually a Primo beat. But then again, Illmatic was saturated with Primo shit, so I wouldn't even be surprised. Like, Primo was all over that album. But like I said, we go into this album. I was playing some of it for you, and it's the first track.
What a life, I'm a man, I'ma die about it. Feel the pain, but I'm not gonna cry about it. Tell the truth, cause ain't no reason to lie about it. Invisible fingers playing chords on my haunted piano. I'm a man, I'ma die about it. Feel the pain, but I'm not gonna cry about it. Tell the truth, cause ain't no reason to lie about it. Invisible fingers playing chords, already classic before you heard it. The spoiler was on my feature verses. I lined it up kinda perfect and then I hurled it. Rhymes in my mind's like pearls and oysters. Boss of bosses, Morpheus on my bullshit. The illest style right here. Till I got right here, getting foul type stairs. We ahead light years. We come out, the shit starts. So let the fifth spark. Turn the light switch off. Drive a block, switch cars. Toss a face mask and gloves. Damn, I just caught a buzz. Pulled another hit on the beat. Guess who the victim was? Guess who get reconfigured?
All right, so that was. I want to play the whole album. I'll probably do little snippets here and there just to give you all a feel of what each track going down the line. It's 15 cuts on the album. That's how many songs made it to the cut on this album. That's how many songs they did in the studio, or at least they put together for this album. That junk was called My Life Is Real. Again, what people were looking for this Nas Primo album was that they were looking for the classic scratches. You know what I'm saying? The classic, that signature Primo sound that he's known for. So I mean, whether or not, you know what I'm saying, y'all rock with it or not, I've said this from the beginning. I mean, even me and my wife had a conversation about this, and I said, like, listen, Nas and Primo, they gave the fans what they wanted. They literally did the one thing that we never thought was going to materialize, and they dropped the album. They dropped the album together. That's incredible. They dropped the album. So they gave the fans literally an album. I mean, me and my wife, we was going back and forth. I was so excited about this. I know she didn't want to. She never wants to, talk to me about this stuff. But but she knows how passionate I am. And this is the very day that they dropped something that was meaningful to hip hop. And I'm like, man, they literally gave us what we wanted. They did give us what we wanted. They gave us what we wanted, but however, they gave us what we wanted, and what some folks was looking for was that classic Primo sound. That's what they was looking for. They was looking for that classic Primo sound. A lot of people, for most of us hip hop heads, us day ones, those of us that are big fans of both Nas and Primo, and because we're so passionate about this hip hop shit, that we had high expectations already going in. Before we even heard the album, we had high expectations. and the high expectation that we had for this album was that we expected for the production to be like a Nas's Light. All those tracks that I named for you already, we expected Primo and Nas to show up like that. And yes, there were definitely a lot of moments where they did show up like that. The energy, you could feel that it was cohesive between Nas and Primo. They did show up. And I just felt like, get ready. I could play a little snippet of that for y'all. Get ready for me was dope. I'm gonna go right on it because I feel like I feel like my life is real was okay, but it just didn't really for me capture the essence of what I was looking for in the Primo joint.
Yo, Prim, give me that turnaround. Yeah, that's it. Jesus, the king out of Queensbridge, at ease us with your lyrical thesis. Me just chilling, buildings, high ceilings, billions of my vision. Please, I'm from the P's. VVS on freeze, VSOP's freeze. Esco Pablo, silked out in Cabo. The prettiest, high tech like NVIDIA. Just that smart, I know a little about a lot. When you come from less, you learn particular plots. From whipping them, checking in them parlays and parfaits. How my days start. We all player shit. Dennis Comp, we leaving big tips. I taught some of y'all how to eat, but I won't trip. Taught some of y'all how to dress, but some of y'all still a mess. Serial investors, serial killer threat. Turn ether to Ethereum. Y'all wanna.
All right, like I said, I was gonna play little snippets of it. I'm not gonna play the whole thing because again, we got to do this thing where I don't own the rights to the music, so therefore, boom, that part. But I will say this. That get ready joint got some classic moments of purified boom bap, that boom bap style in there. You could feel that. But however, when you go to maybe even like the third track, because this is where the disappointment was for me, and I know a whole lot of people can attest to that the disappointment came with this.
Play me that Billy Joel joint.
Although I like the sample, I love the sample. Billy Joel, New York State of Mind joint, but we talking about a part 3, New York State of Mind.
Without taking a man on a Hudson River line, I'm in New York State of Mind.
Steel chokers, truck walk, Nike shorts, at night in court. Stress and cut your life short. I'm from egg rolls and duck sauce. Where the feds rolled on duck short. City Island and say less. Plenty talented kids, stay blessed, gamble and make bets. Throw on some DMX, his words, they live in all of us.
While I'm ecstatic to hear new Nas and Primo, for me, that was the disappointment. Because I was looking for something a lot more up-tempo. I was looking for something that was a lot more raw and grittier. You know what I'm saying? Again, a lot of folks point this out. And because if you're a producer, your outlook on this album is going to be a lot different than someone who's a fan, who's a listener. The listener is different from the hip-hop producer. Because hip hop producers, like shout out to the guy, my guy Ease, at the Ease Experience. He's a producer. He's real good at good at the production. He has an ear for this stuff. So for him, the way that he critiques the music, he's looking for sonics when it comes to. That's not necessarily too much of my language. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a hip hop producer. I'm just a fan. I'm a listener. Like I've grew up on this music. This is what I listen to. Nas is like my favorite MC. So for me, I'm on the outside looking in. I could actually agree with most people when I say that when it comes to the production, the feel of it, the energy, it's a bit lazy. It's a bit on the lazy side. So that's what I'm going to say for it. That is a bit on the lazy side for me. So I don't know. Like there are moments, like I said, My Life is Real. Didn't really feel too much of the opener as it came in, but the Get Ready track is what set it off for me. I think that if that was the beginning, if that was the start of the album, then I would have a different feel for this album. Get Ready, the album should have started off with Get Ready, and then maybe come in with My Life is Real, or they could have just had that at the end of the album. But however, Get Ready was a highlight. New York State of Mind, that's when it went down for me, because of the fact that it didn't capture that same essence. I mean, we had got New York State of Mind Part 1. We had got New York State of Mind Part 2. Okay? Then when we listen to Part 3, it don't capture the same essence as those two joints. And classic Primo. We talking about Primo production. The King Midas. King Midas. You know what they say about King Midas. Everything he touches turns to gold. So he has that golden touch when it comes to hip hop. So anybody that jumps on a Primo beat, they gotta really go in on the joint. It's set off time. It's set it off time. Because when you're rhyming on a Primo beat, it brings the best out of you. So because Nas and Primo has been doing this for centuries, they've been doing this for ages. I could say that. I could say all kinds of stuff. These guys been doing it for such a long time that the chemistry between these guys should still be there. And it does show up. It does show up. I will say that
Some get deported.
when you listen to such tracks like when you listen to okay, I hate commercials, but I'm playing this off of a phone, so y'all gotta bear with me here. But
deep to the underground.
welcome to the underground. As it was coming in, I'm like, okay.
For life. Yeah. Turn it up. Turn it up. Yeah. Welcome to the underground. That basement life, way underneath the earth. Dig up dirt, termites and baby mice scattering below the surface. We deep in the soil with jackhammering to the core of it all, avoiding the laws outside the corner stores with the
The beat is kind of bouncy. It's got that boom bap feel. It's something different, of course. But then we go to this track.
And how do you feel about the music business now in general?
Then we go to this joint called
comparison
Madman.
to before, when you first started.
Well, there's much more respect. I respect that it's an art form now.
You got this
What were the feelings back then when you first started?
to explain what the track is,
Nigga music.
what the feel of the song is going to be.
I don't give a goddamn. It's Nas.
Murderous material made by Madman.
I don't give a goddamn.
Okay, now that it's pausing, it did me a favor. So that joint was called Madman. Madman ain't quite get with the concept of that, but because you're hearing the scratches and stuff like that, basically he's an animal on the mic. He's talking more about his microphone prowess, how a skilled MC, blase. As you go more into the track, you can hear more of that sharpened skills that Nas always comes with. I think that was the highlight on this album. if you ask me. Madman was a highlight on this album. It was that classic Nas and Primo cohesiveness, that collaborative chemistry that they have. These two have a collaborative chemistry with each other. And you hear it on Madman. Madman is where you really hear it. So you got to really, you got to listen to the album. I think that it picks up. It picks up after Welcome to the Underground. I think that's when the album picks up. I think that Get Ready was a standout joint out of those first 3 tracks on the album. Get Ready was the standout. And then it started to pick up after the lackluster New York State of Mind. It started to pick up after Welcome to the Underground, because now you're starting to hear more of that classic collaborative energy between Nas and Primo. Again, like I said, I gave you the example that classic collaborative energy is brought to you by Primo himself and Nas. Classic scratches. The whole thing just came together. It was like a well blended marriage, man. It was a well blended marriage. It was good for hip hop. I love Primo what he was doing on his joint. Sorry about that. Again, playing it from the phone, so you know them damn commercials. But anyway, classic energy that you're hearing when you're thinking about, okay, what does a Primo and Nas joint sound like? For all those who are not fans of Nas and Primo, you listen to this album and of course you're just trying to figure out, like, okay, what is the angle here? What are these guys doing? What is this? Because you're trying to figure out a multitude of things. Like, what is this type of style, whatever. And for those who are day one fans, for those who are hip hop heads who grew up on Nas, I got every Nas album there is. So like, I dissected Nas, I studied, I researched this guy. And I come to find out that he has one of the sharpest, pens in the whole game. So for me, when you listen to Nas over Primo, you're astounded by what it is that he does. What he does that is so great and it's powerful. So when you listen to tracks like Madman, you really get a feel that they're both on their A game. MC, producer, both are on top of things, and they blend their talents together, and they give us something that's ultimately kinetic. So that's what I'm gonna say. That's what I'm gonna say as far as that. But like I said, you can't front that. Once they had dropped this album, it was so many of us at the edge of our seat that we just could not hold it together. I know I couldn't. But like I said, when you hear joints like this, it gets you hyped.
Ladies, Gucci link gangsters, and rappers that use one producer. You know that Metro boom in the future, we still don't trust you. Getting started, but I boosted it, figured I'd bring it back. Since multiple hit makers on one album, I introduced it. In fact, everything in my head make bread. I made hip hop and symphony shows start to spread. But still nothing is sweet, you can tell by just bumping this beat. Still nasty since 91, nothing competes. Before Snoop, before Woo, before Big, there was this young nigga, small dreads from the bridge. It's Nas, Cream, how many times I gotta tell him? I don't give a goddamn, it's Nas, Cream, how many times we gotta tell him?
Murderous material made by Madman.
They be tradition, hate, they wishing on me. They try to switch the story so they don't look like a bitch in the story. It's my life, not a third-party witness the story. Somebody heard something different, distorted version of the truth.
Like I said, I'm feeling that track. I'm feeling it. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling that joint. And I'm feeling it. It, to me, captures the essence of Primo.
Remember the first time I made
this is another joint called Paul's Tapes.
In my grandma's crib. I didn't have
Paul's
the
Tapes.
extravagant equipment. This is back in the late 80s. And I used to listen to music on the radio video that I liked, you know, particularly old school, like 70s, and I would record it. And then after I recorded a certain part that I liked, I would record, loop, until it just became one beat. And, you know, that was the beginning of me making beats. Record.
Again, classic hip hop. You hearing classic hip hop loops. You're hearing break beats. You're hearing that classic, those samples, those samples in there. That's the same thing, the same feel that I got with the track Get Ready. That's what we got with Paul's Tapes. Paul's Tapes has that classic old school boom bap sound. And the fact that Primo has brought that shit back to life is what makes it even more astounding. That's why Nas and Primo are two of my faves when it comes to this shit. So you cannot front that the collaborative effort here has been neatly designed to be an incredible feat. To even drop a project like this, light years, it's ahead of its time. So there you go. So with joints like that on the album is where the album starts picking up. Because again, I can agree with a lot of people. The album did have a slow start, and it does take some time for you to grab something with each song. Is it something for the new generational listener? It's not something for the new generation listener. It's actually something for us day one fans, those of us that grew up on hip hop music and in the early 90s or whatnot. We grew up on Illmatic. We grew up on It Was Written. So for us, we are going to appreciate the storytelling. We're going to appreciate the lyricism. We're going to appreciate everything that has to do with the cohesiveness of this album. Because this album, in my opinion, is a good album. It's a good album. It just has its hit and misses. And I'm going and once I run through this album, once I run through some of the snippets of the album, I will be I didn't really want, I wasn't really going to get on here and really like say nothing and not even so much even do a reaction. I just wanted to just give my 2 cents about this album and how well it's put together, in my opinion. Again, it's an album that is well put together. It's something for the fans. This album is something for the fans, those day one fans who've been fans of Nas and Primo. You know what I'm saying? So this is what you're getting from them. You're getting that. So if you was expecting anything else, well, your expectations are high because you're, of course, expecting for Nas and Primo to do another Nas Is Like. You're expecting them to do another I Gave You Power. You're expecting them to do another Second Childhood. You're expecting classic sounds. And here's the thing. With Light Years, they will only give you, I'm going to put it this way. This was a challenge for Primo to carry the whole album. And because Primo, as we could tell with the Ransom album, I had a chance to listen to some of Ransom stuff. And he did a collaboration album with DJ Premier as well. This year it came out. And that album didn't quite meet my standards either. So I'm going to tell you right now that with this Nas and Primo album, because it's so anticipated, I love the storytelling. I love the concepts. I love everything that was about this album. But what I love most of all is the fact that they delivered. They gave us what we asked for. Most people just have higher expectations when it comes to what they wanted the album to sound like. So you can't front on tracks like this.
It's a drive-in movie, no rules Rocks on a bunch of Benzes. Let's try to reimagine the passion when I got in this. A Panasonic with a tape recorder, trying to level the treble and bass in order. The station sound distorted. I moved the dial to improve the sound. Years later, got a Sony stereo system, no comparison with the boombox. My living room knocks. My nigga Mayo next door, he banging on the wall, told us to stop. Take me back. Drugs and money, we cruddy. Lug smoking fiends in the hallway, bummy. Just finished the OE music saving our lives. Just listening, getting fried to underrated MCs. Spraying something to hide the aroma. Still in my mom's crib, was young and lazy. Quit school cause I needed fly shit. The fiends were patient. Not trying to be locked on a big Queen's crazy. Guess jeans and polo jacket. Just in the crib causing all this racket. Always knew I was the verbal assassin. Submerged in a very dirty world but only was half it. That's when I had an epiphany. Came with last on the symphony. If I could set a posse cut off, that'd be my entry. Picking up the stereos, remote control quickly. Ron's in the cassette deck. Rockin' G a surprise, I open up. Bombshell in my mind tells me I could hook a beat up from hoof to rhyme. My mom's hall closet and boxes, all kind of shit. Johnny Taylor records and some Grover Washingtons I'm locking in. Grab a piece of vinyl, drop the needle at the top. Listen for beat to rock. 90-minute tape, I got enough time. Play it one time, 4 bars, press record, then press pause, then restart, record. Loop, repeat, do that by 20 times, yo, I made my first beat. Pause tapes.
Pause tables, rewind it, record, loop. Record, loop.
See? Well, folks, pause tapes. There you go. There you go. Pause tapes. You couldn't ask for something better. So, like I said, this is where the highlight of the album, this is where the essence of the energy started to pick up. So far we had the joint Madman, Pause Tapes. Then we're going to go into this next joint called Writers. Is a nod to all of the graffiti writers. Like this is so astounding. I actually like this track. I actually love this track.
Here's my galactic citizenship card. Interplanetary mission, I've been discharged. They hit y'all. No ancillary staff will assist me. I'm about to show you what the writers list be. See, I'm a writer in rap form, but these are writers that bomb trade subway platforms. Courageous, bravest, street creators. They synonymous with DJs, rappers, and breakers.
Like I said,
bombs folded, jail posts.
Let me pause that real quick. Like I said, Writers is another, like Writers is a tribute joint to the graffiti writers. It's a tribute. It gets no more beautiful than that. The beat chemistry is beautiful. The chemistry between Nas and Primo is beautiful. We're talking about a whole album that's produced by DJ Premier and brought to you. The lyrics are brought to you by none other than Nas godson himself. So you got to imagine we're in 2025. This is December. Today's December 12th, 2025, and we got a Nas DJ Premier album called Light Years. And again, y'all just got to stick around because I'm gonna make a very outlandish observation. Because something I'm feeling that's going to happen with this next run, especially with this album. But songs like this, Writers, songs like this one right here, puts me right back to the 90s. It puts me right back to Illmatic. It puts me back there at that time when Nas dropped the Illmatic album and we was just at the edge of our seats. I think that they couldn't have put out a better joint. Like I said, this is where the album picks up at. And so tracks like this.
Foster kids mixed in with the ill fortune. Fat laces, back in the day, shit calligraphers. Tagging their names, putting their signatures in places. Courtyards, sports balls, landmarks, 10 clocks, jams in the park, they doing art. Big bubble letters all over the city. I see it up in high places, wonder how they did it. Admit it, I always wish that I could do the same. But now the mic is a marker, I'm tagging up names. Sometimes at night I would walk with a pen, with a marker, or even some chalk.
Like really. So anybody that is not feeling this joint, is not feeling the joint writers, man, they must be crazy. They must be out of their mind. It's joints like that is why you can really truly appreciate this album. It's songs like Writers that you can really appreciate this album. Off to the next one. We're going to go on to the next one. This one is called Sons, Young Kings. For anybody out there that know, for all of y'all day one Nas supporters, all y'all day one Nas fans, right? Big up to y'all. If y'all know, Nas put out a song called Daughters. He put out a song called Daughters, right? He put out a song called Daughters. And so he was giving love out to all the fathers with daughters. Now he's giving love to all, maybe the moms and the fathers who have sons. And I think that it was actually a nod to mother to son. Like he gave a little shout out to the mothers that have sons as well. So you can quite grasp the concepts that's on this album. This is what makes this album so fucking beautiful. The fact that he puts together beautiful compositions like this. It gets no better than that. So, just to bring y'all up to speed, I mean, there is 15 tracks on this album. The album just dropped like midnight. It dropped actually like midnight, actually like yesterday midnight, coming into December 12th, which is today. And we got what we asked for. The fans got what they asked for, man. It's just that you can't please everybody. You can't please everybody when it comes to this. When it comes to, anticipated stuff like this. Because again, what does that say about the artists themselves? That says that they put so much time in. Like, look what Nas is doing right now. Nas got a casino acquisition that he's getting off the ground. He just put in a bid for a casino. It's about to be a casino that's going to be built in his neighborhood in Queens. So he got that going on. Nas got the hip hop museum going on. Nas just already, along with his Master Pill Records, whom he's also a co-producing numerous albums through what is called the Legend Has It campaign. So we're talking about a beloved MC who loves hip hop so much that he's gonna have his hands in everything that has to do with hip hop. That's beautiful. And then also, while his dreams are coming true with the casino, his dreams are coming true with the hip hop museum. His dreams are coming through with also building a store. Like, the man ain't going to stop. He's in his entrepreneurial bag right now. Like, Nas is an entrepreneur now. You know what I'm saying? Like, he putting on for hip hop. And it's beautiful to see that. How astounding this guy is. So that in itself, has to raise eyebrows for you. Because again, this guy is heaven sent. So yes, I wanted to give my take on this album. I had to give y'all my 2 cents. I really feel excited about this joint. I'm really feeling it. I don't know about y'all, but I'm feeling the album. I'm feeling the album so much that even I had to chime in on what I think about
Eczema isn't easy to plan
and
for,
it's definitely, in my opinion, an easy digestible album. It's an easy digestible album. It's just that for many fans who are fans of Nas and Primo doing songs together, and they've been there since day one when Nas and Primo were doing tracks together, that they have high expectations on what they want the album to sound like. But we're in 2025, people. They're not going to give you that same shit.
Young Kings. It all starts.
This shit right here, man.
Young Kings. Young Kings. Yeah. Head on the swivel, loaded lead in the nickel. The devil holding a sickle, wanna sever your tissue. That's forever the issue, then candlelight of the visual. They say jail is both a rehab center and homeless shelter. And life and death is close as a tonic and seltzer. Never fold under pressure, give you my manifesto. Every man is a vessel, my son is my reflection. He from the highest heaven, I try not to possess him. Allow him to be tested. One day the words may come out the mouth of a reverend. By the power vested in me, loud at this wedding. Get flowers while you can smell them, I try to tell them. All the diamonds and foreigns, all the finest of garments. It's really how it ends and not how it started. Filthy rich scuba diving in your wealthy pockets. Louis Prada, but health is my most valuable stock tip. Y'all about to run things to my young kings. To my brothers with sons, let them run. To my brothers with sons, so fun. I pray y'all both share the most powerful bond. A little different from him and his mom. To my sisters with boys, the joy. To my sisters with boys, enjoy. Tell him stand tall, know he should go for it all. He the glorious king. Plenty stuff I used to see, I often thought was an image of us. Getting off the city bus, all the memories rush.
Now, as you're hearing track from track, you're hearing Primo. You're hearing Primo. What he's doing as far as his beat instrumentation, he's making it sound more, how can I put it, song worthy. Not to say that his stuff, like I said, everything that Primo touches turns to gold. That goes without saying. But he made this album playable. It's playable without all of the scratching and stuff. He took a back seat. He sometimes with Primo, you might hear him doing the mixing and scratching at the end of the song, because that's also his signature too. And sometimes he do it in the middle of the song, or he does it around the hook or whatever like that. That's classic Primo right there. What you get with some of these songs is that he's trying to make playable songs so that you can hear the MC, spitting. So I think that this is a well put together album, because again, we're hearing more of Nas and Primo collaborating together and sounding well blended together. So this is why I like the album, because again, it's an album that you might have to listen to a few times to even get what the concepts are. And shout outs to the Rap Roundtable. They actually put it all together. And I thought that too when I was listening to this album, that it's a love letter to hip hop. As you're hearing the album, you're hearing more of them giving a nod and ode to hip hop throughout the album. So that's what's taking place with this whole album.
I used to look up at the crosses sign, the child would have grown up holding his arm while I was walking with my mom. I pointed at it, automatic.
Then we go.
Hey, yo, black is time. Hey, yo, black is time. Yeah. Time traveling. Hey, yo, black is time. Yeah. Hey, yo, time flows through me. How many rhyme flows can I recite with my eyes closed? Yo, let's shoot this movie smoothly. Listen to me. Let's take it to the past long before the new me. I seen it when it first got tricky. Dipping the city, whipping new cars to the herb spots for the sticky. I was the one by the tree in the GS3 with big. Next thing you know, where the time goes, going quickly. Spin down the street back where I used to be. Stomping grounds, just touchdown to QB. It's known for balancing money. So brother Fred fresh homie just walked down 20. I stepped out, I stretched out, I took a breath in, let a breath out. I don't flex, don't want clout, but what I do want to see is my brothers are with it. And all my people out there, cherish the time you give it. You know how it is. The illest shit that ever happened. You know how it is. You know what it is. Time traveling. The illest shit that ever happened. I use every second as a weapon. Every minute keeps on slipping. Time is a construct of draw limits. The Big Bang of now. Evolution to how little time mankind is ripping around a grown over 50 perspective. Is there an age limit to disc records or may it just be message? Kids are doing drive-bys. I'm looking like time flies, squeezing hammers. Even when there's cameras up in the sky. Spark the lie with the double R I drive. Pretty thugs show no love. It's like when doves cry. Maybe I'm just too much of a smuggler, minded hustler, timeless. Couple hundred cover the knuckles with diamonds. Smell it on us from the blocks. They was telling on us. Wore a vest in the summer sweating. They tried getting on us. Prayers, cause gangsters go to heaven and life's weighing on us. Premier, play the chorus. Yeah. You know what how it is. The illest shit that ever happened. You know what how it is. Time, man. Time traveling. Hey, yo, Black is
Dope. What more can you say? What more can you say? Primo flipped a whole Steve Miller Band joint, a whole Steve Miller Band sample. It's crazy. That's crazy. This is another highlight for me.
Yeah. Just that one hand on the stairwell music. That's it. Yeah. Let's go. And I said, just designing this rhyme is a fight against time. Every minute they wait to hear a true titans of crime. There's two types of villains that live in my mind. I'll define it as one killer with rhyme, the other dealing supplying garments of all kind. No more designer to wear, style more modest these years. Honorable to compare. The gods ask go nasty nights from Nasir. Since the sandbox came out of it, part of my ominous content, y'all should be scared. Birth certificate says Nasir, origin not clear, but what a great name to bear. My name is not as common as Muhammad or as popular or as praiseworthy, so I adopted a moniker. I'm Nasty Nas, I was destined to be here, and Grandmaster cast this atmosphere to breathe cool on these airs. It's Esco here, I like that hip-hop stuff, but come here, I whisper in your ear, I don't give a fuck. It sounds like it bothers you that I'm just that guy, just that fly. Nah, but I know that you hate me for rapping the tracks that sound like Mafia movie scores, babe. That was your thing. You was getting that through the doors crazy. Cause it didn't happen before me, sorry. You was talking Cristal first, that was all me. When I brought the blick to the church, I told you run it now. My jury box open, you hearing a humming sound. Not humble, not underground. Fuck your cigars and fedora hats. This is real rap. What could be better than that? The double R, the iciest jewels. Cash rules, heavenly messenger, white gloves, white shoes. Man, that sound materialistic. Rapping about how the rich live. Yo, that boom bap is too whack. That don't get you no bitches. But Nasty the type to rob you. Who you talking to? Yo, who? Yo, no one left in this room, just us. Damn. Well, that was some great time shit. That was time for some words from the heart of Nasir. Yeah. I'm a father, philanthropist, film director, an author, tech impresario, resorts world, casino partner, a restaurateur. By the time you hear this song, I'll probably open up a whole new store. Get involved, I'm a mogul, massive with my moves, everything got appeal. I lead the way, I'm trying to see much more of us here. Even make our own cigars top tier. We do branding, expanding a 30-year career. I'm just scratching the surface. The next phase and I see it. Phase 4, the fourth dimension. The legacy's here, and other things I won't mention. I'm winning when I'm not even trending. Trailblazing, the message I'm sending. When you evolve into your true growth, they say you can't do both. Feed your soul and get money. I'm like two goats, so I'm guessing as long as it's not, it will solve the problem. When it's cracking a rock at the bottom, then you got 'em.
Yes, sir. There you have it. There you have it. Now, this next track. This next track, I was definitely looking forward to this happening. I was really looking for this joint to happen. And he's got AZ as the only feature on the album. He's got AZ as the only feature on his album. And the joint's called My Story, Your Story. It's AZ and Nas trading verses like something that they haven't done in a while since hearing tracks like The Flyest. They did other joints. I know AZ was lastly on Nas's King's Disease album. I think it was King's Disease Part 2, I believe, that he showed up on there. And it was like a Firm-esque type of song. So it's refreshing to hear stuff like this, AZ.
Sound crazy right here.
Yeah,
Immaculate.
sound like we opening new spots in Vegas.
It's been a minute, Esco.
Oh, indeed. Every time the right,
Yeah, ladies, y'all invited.
always. Ladies,
Let's get money now. Let's get me on.
how much we talking?
Trying to diversify the portfolio.
What else, God?
Everything else.
Well, let's get to it.
Yeah.
My story, your story.
Weed, high, war stories.
Kid fly, raw stories.
I could cry more stories.
Fuck a orgy, touch her face, 2 miles kissing on me. Fuck off me, can't fuck 'em all, that's too costly.
Saucy, sucker softly, awkwardly, finger fucking her cautiously. Talk to me, that's that joy brought thoughtfully.
The mature me, there's more to the story, glory.
Surely, switch sides for the lift vibe, the fish vibe.
It's them guys with their money up. Diamonds jumping like Bobby with a Gumby cut. Choosing wisely high as the movie Friday. 100 blunts.
Pre-roll, never we fold. Fucking he hold, but me though. Had the Penzozis out for my P.O.
We herbalists, raised by gangsters on streets that's murderous.
Work too much,
Taking vacations more than work for us.
thanks to us, it's more fly living and less angel dust. Tangled up,
Up in the mountains, don't let them hang you up.
my story, your story.
Weed high war stories.
Get fly, raw
Fly,
stories.
who could cry more stories?
Glasses tilt pour for me. Brownstone 4 stories. Eyes on all glory. We outgrown them warm
With
Maurice.
the mic cord, I could talk to GDs and vice lords. Folk nation Mexican gangs that's doing life for it.
Crisscross crash out. Kidded cars cashed out. Cul-de-sac glass house. Solar facts expound.
12 jewels, show and prove, earth revolve around the sun. To know whom and what you are, food, shelter bound to come.
Love, peace, and happiness. This is what we rapping with. Still we ain't having it. Relaxed around the savages.
Exactly what our fabric is, others are embarrassing. Arm and hammer balance, a sneaker box what the cash was in.
Batman, back then bricks built from a half a gram. Ashy hands.
No gloves cooking up, had a master plan. My story, your story.
Weed, high, war stories.
Kid fly roaries.
I could cry more stories. My story, your story.
Weed high war stories.
Get fly, raw stories.
Who could cry more stories?
360. It's crazy right here. This was needed.
We needed this right here. Yeah,
Another joint.
yeah,
Tied one. We tied the knot on this one.
yes sir.
QB, what's going on? Brooklyn,
BK,
worldwide.
yeah.
Serious right here.
Bronx,
I wanted this. This is what y'all wanted.
Staten Island,
What else y'all want?
Long Island. Yeah.
Crazy. Amazing, ain't it? And it gets even more amazing than that because one of the other standout cuts, one of the other standout tracks on here is that Nas and Primo again did it again. But this time he bigged up, he gave a shout out to all of the female MCs in the hip hop universe. He gave a shout out to all of the female artists, the musicians, the MCs, the rappers. He gave a shout outs to everybody. He didn't need, well, for the exception that he didn't, but he even said it for anybody I did not mention. You know what I'm saying? I love y'all. Like I got y'all on my mind. Basically, I know who y'all are, whatever like that. This song is for y'all. This song is called Bouquet. In parentheses, to all the ladies in hip hop. He's giving a shout out to all the women in hip hop. This is what's astounding about this album, is the fact that he's giving love to all of the female MCs, all of the females, all of the women in hip hop. He's giving love to everybody from Ja Rock. He's giving a shout out to everybody from Ja Rock to Megan Thee Stallion. It's incredible. It's incredible what Nas just did here. This album lacks.
Ain't all party gold.
Where the ladies at?
And they know who you are, why don't you make yourself seen?
To the ladies, ain't no party goers.
Where the ladies at?
And if you know who you are, why don't you make yourself seen?
What would the world be without beautiful, powerful women? The Mimas, the grandmas, the nation builders. Who educates us, just teach us, love us, support us, and gives birth to all the world's sons and daughters. And y'all deserve props, cause y'all running hip-hop. Started with Shy Rock, 50 years later, women is on top. Behind Gia, Missy, Moni, Light, and Queen Latifah. Miss Lauryn Hill is an honor for me to even meet you. Where would we be without Queens in the microphone? Roxanne Shante, we both call QB home. Though she push your culture, I'm inspired by Salt and Pepper, Nikki, Foxy, and Kim, and Megan Cardi and Left Eye. Plus nothing realer than Lotto, Glorilla, and Rod Digger. Remy, Rhapsody, and Eve, all straight killers. And I was signed by a woman, she created a movement. So much love to Faith Newman. What we doing? This one goes out to the whole woman nation.
To the ladies, ain't no party goers.
Where the ladies at?
And if you know who you are, why don't you make yourself seen?
With love from Nas and Cream, this one goes
To the ladies, ain't no party goers.
Where the ladies at?
And if you know who you are, why don't you make yourself seen?
Yeah, divine feminine, beyond fine shit. Not a ting, not a joint. When my eyes squint, you see what I see. Our presence together is always a pleasure. So I figured I'd write you a letter. You a queen, you a star, supernatural. Pure gratitude by your side, but let me ask you, why don't the world recognize your hard work? You being unappreciated makes my heart hurt. Aphrodite Almighty, it's no myth, you remind me of all motivating women that's been with me beside real one. Love you from now to infinity, in every way, from spiritual, mentally, physically. You showed me how to be more empathetic. Shout to the female DJs mixing this record, and you the fly spot far. Stop playing with her. Every glass, raise it up. This is for my ladies. This one goes out to the whole woman nation.
To the ladies, ain't no party goers.
Where the ladies at?
And if you know who you are, why don't you make yourself seen?
With love from Nas and Cream, this one goes
To the ladies, ain't no party goers.
Where the ladies at?
And if you know who you are, why don't you make yourself seen?
This goes to all of y'all. Mia X, Yo Yo, y'all been putting it down. Lady of Rage, Dimples D, Sparky D, Sweet T, Beverly Poole, Antoinette, Jean Grey, Lola Brooke, Sexy Red, Coyle Ray, City Girls, Cash Dog, Honey Baby, Bernadette Price, Charlie Baltimore, Trina, Doja Cat, The Chat, Rest in Poetry, Gangsta Boo, MC Trouble. Shout to Conscious Daughters in Oaktown 357. Sweetie, Isis, Dia. Shout out to Ladybug Mecca, The Sequence, Debbie D and Lisa Lee. Heather B, Nikki D, Azalea Banks, Champ MC, Nishi Me, all y'all lit. Frickin' Frat, Vanessa St. Quiz. I could go on and keep going. Shout to Eternia, Ice Cream Tea. Rest in peace, boss. Shout out Nefertiti, Storm, Shorty No Mas, Iggy, Paula Perry, Shay Noir, yeah, Sonya Blade, Kaya, 3D Nati, Amani Caesar, Ice Spice, yeah, Nonchalant, 5 o'clock in the morning, Imani Montana, Dej Loaf, Nitty Scott MC, Hurricane G, Miss Melody, Sugar T, Young M.A. What up, Scar Lip? Shout to Lady London. What up, JJ Fad? Yeah. To the whole queendom of rap. Love to all of y'all. Whoever I name, I still love you. For life. Love from Nas and Preem. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Yeah, I ain't even care, man. I had to play that whole song for y'all, man. I had to play that whole song for y'all. That was amazing. That was amazing, man. That was amazing. First of all, I didn't even get all the way through to the album when I first heard it, when it first dropped, right? I didn't even get through to the whole album. And I was like in the middle somewhere. I was listening to the Paul's tapes. I think it was that. And I was going into like my story. Matter of fact, I stopped at My Story, Your Story with AZ, right? And then once I'm like listening, I listen to that track because that's like the second half of the album, right? And as I'm listening to more of the album, that song goes off, then Bouquet comes in. And I'm listening to this Bouquet joint. I'm sitting there saying, okay, this joint has it says to the ladies. So I'm saying to myself, well, okay, he probably gonna have like a little, this joint's gonna probably be, you know what I'm saying, some commercial, you know, probably a little commercial single or something that he gonna probably slow it down for the women. Once I'm start hearing him name dropping MCs and musicians and rappers alike, and it was all women. He's name dropping women and all these MCs, Jean Grey to Paula Perry and Boss and Lady of Rage. I mean, Moni Love, Queen Latifah, MC Light. I mean, he's name dropping all of these folks. He did forget the Brat though, but again, y'all gonna hear my take. Y'all gonna hear my take in a few because I got a few more tracks to run down. I said I was not going to play the whole album, but I feel like I gotta play the album or at least play some of the songs, maybe some of the highlights and snippets of a few of these songs. There's only 3 more. We go into this joint called Junkie.
I told myself I was gonna kick. I never did.
What got me about the intro to this joint was that it started off with a fiend talking, but did not know that he was going to go more into being a hip hop junkie. That's what the name of this joint is called. It's called Junkie.
I'm a junkie. I'll be a junkie the rest of my life.
I let the flow go where it wanna go. Back to Primo. Let's do it for days of B.I.G. Yeah.
Wow.
I 3D printed the studio, D&D reinvented me and you know who, Preem. And yeah, y'all, it's been a minute. Come up to the 4th floor through the door, Primo renamed it. Now it's headquarters under a new location. We aliens like a deity trust. Man, I have standards. I'm the G.O.D. Bro, I'm supposed to big kick this habit. Done with it, having fun with it. Hard to let it go. How could you when you in love with it? Once upon a time, I couldn't start my day without it. I played it every morning loud while I'm out.
The beat's crazy. The beat is really something different.
In my outfit, in my car, just zoning out, straight hot boxing. I need that real dope, I cannot fuck with some boxing. Medications, they just don't work, my body jerks. R&B playing constant is how I got through the hurt. 808 addictions, sound of a DJ mixing. Had to stay away from my young boy, cause all he listens to, that gritty, that raw, intense, hardcore. But makes me wanna put them on to so much harder songs. I consult a physician, prescribe me a pill. How do I cope? I could die on this hill. Find a rehab for beats and lyrics, a treatment center. Counselor said I should be speaking better. Hi, I'm a rapaholic, only been sober since my last installment. Need music with substance, so it's abuse they call it. I'm still sick, hello everybody, now I sit. We all in a circle together, ain't that a bitch? I brought my brother here with me, his name is Chris. He got a habit just like me, he cannot kick. So again, be smart, cause this is fun for me. No matter how nice you are, don't come for me. I'm still a junkie, hip-hop junkie. I need it in my arteries. It keeps calling me.
And that's serious as a heart attack. I'm an ancient artifact. We question if your art is fact.
I came from the bottom. I need it in my arteries. It keeps calling me.
And that's serious as a heart attack. I'm an ancient artifact. We question if your art is fact.
I came from the bottom. I need it in my arteries. It keeps calling me. 88 Rucker Park, trucks and cars, hustlers, they was stunting hard. 1,000 people copped hot as summer, y'all. Fresh out the subway cars, young Esco, no bum dress flow. Shopped a 2.5 to Nike, dunked the guard. Stomping was a little conscious monster. Educated ignorance, lion head, ring on the index flex. Let's get into it. Bought books, caught jokes, and stuck between living clean and overcoming lawlessness. Trying to balance the Constitution writers knew the truth was some are liars. A jambalaya combined with crime and the law abiding. Something they saw inside NES and then Sony signed them. I'm just a humble giant, stumble but fall forward, never backwards. What is your dream? I'm my great-great-grandfather's dream. One thing, when you make yourself too accessible, some can lose respect if they bless you. The music electrocutes, it's cause I'm a junkie.
And that's serious as a heart attack. I'm an ancient artifact. We question if your art is fact.
I came from the bottom, I need it in my arteries. It keeps calling me.
And that's serious as a heart attack. I'm an ancient artifact. We question if your art is fact.
Crazy.
I came from the bottom,
Crazy.
I need it in my arteries. It's cause I'm a junkie.
Incredible. Salute. Salute. Nas, the godson, the greatest, the greatest, the greatest, man.
Seeing if your
Oh,
fingerprint
man.
will never hurt your credit score.
That's incredible, man. That's incredible. I'm proud to be a hip-hop junkie in this day and time. I'm proud to be a hip-hop junkie. I'm proud to be a hip-hop junkie. I could never stress it anymore, man. I'm proud to be a hip-hop junkie. I'm a hip-hop fiend. I mean, this shit is like drugs, man. Joints called Shine Together.
For every word I spit, I get phenomenal.
And we might as well shine together. I made moves in the trenches, looking over my shoulders. A fool in his riches will soon part. That's what they told us. A school of fish follows the shark to eat his leftovers. And when that shark is hungry again, it ups the death total. Esco in that Maybach truck. McAllen Scotch in the cup. 300,000 watching the stallion that's rolling up. A boss is one who learned to get dope and he show you. Keep the limelight, I curves them photos, I'm Yoda. The wise one high off the blood smoke. Worried about the next man with stunt growth. Just do my shadow boxing and jump rope. I don't front for attention for ratchet sisters till my casket dip. I'm a want more, just a truth trick. So many new chicks, I wish I was born with two oops. I take that line back. A devil in the blue dress, I grind that. Body so crazy, they asking where I find that. 35,000 feet is where I write my rhymes at.
I'm a few bars. For every word I spit, I get phenomenal.
Man. Wow. While they get back to again, this wasn't a reaction. This wasn't a reaction or nothing like that. This was just me giving my 2 cents. I just had to do it. Like I said, there was definitely a lot of standout tracks on this album that I can appreciate. And before I dip out of this live, I just want to say this. And here's my take. Here's what I think is going to happen. Now that we got the first installment, yes, I did say first installment. Now that we got the first installment, now that we have the first installment of Light Years by Nas and DJ Premier, now that we got the first installment, here's what's going to happen. And this is what I believe going into 2026. Remember when he dropped Magic, when he dropped the Magic album, and I'm not sure, I think the Magic album dropped like last year, 2024. I could be wrong though, but he dropped the Magic album, right? He dropped the Magic album in December. He dropped Magic in December. And that was the first volume of Magic. And then he turned around and dropped Magic 2 and Magic 3. I might be talking about 2023 is when he dropped Magic, when he dropped the first Magic. And then he went on to drop Magic 2 and Magic 3. He did the same thing with King's Disease. Although I don't think it was December that he dropped the first installment. But when he dropped the Magic albums, that's when he dropped it in December. He dropped the album, and then he turned around and dropped Volume 2 and Volume 3. Well, let me see. Here's what's going to happen, and this is my take on it. I think he's going to actually drop Volume 2 and Volume 3 within this next year. We might even get Volume 3 a little later in the year, but I feel like we're going to get a Volume 2. For some reason, I feel like we're going to get a Volume 2. I don't think Nas is done yet. I don't think he's done. And at least he's not done yet with Primo. Because you see Common dropped the Auditorium. He dropped Volume 1 of the Auditorium. He dropped that, right? Now they're about to drop the Auditorium Part 2 coming next year. So Common and Pete Rock are going to drop another Auditorium. Now, whether there's going to be a Part 3, that remains to be seen. But the acclaim that the first Auditorium Volume 1 has gotten, it's got so much, it was so much steam behind the Volume 1 that people crave for the Volume 2. I think the same thing is going to happen with Light Years. I think that because most folks didn't like the lackluster beat chemistry in the first one, Nas and Primo might give them a second one. If we put it out there that we crave for more, they're going to give the listener what they ask for. They've already given hip-hop fans an album already. They already did it. It's up to you on which song you like, which one you're feeling like that. It's all up to you what it is you want to take from this album. But Light Years, in my opinion, is going to be another 3-album run. I'm telling you. And you may say I'm reaching. You may say I'm reaching. But I feel like there's going to be a Volume 2 and a Volume 3 coming. And I think that there's going to be even a Jay-Z collaboration and a Kendrick Lamar collaboration within either Volume 2 and Volume 3. I don't think he's done with DJ Premier yet. I feel he's not. And if he is going to do a Volume 2 and a Volume 3, he might even switch it up and do a joint with Pete Rock, and then do another joint with Large Professor. He might cut it up like that. But nonetheless, there is going to be a Volume 2 and a Volume 3. I just have a feeling that Light Years is going to have a Volume 3 to it. A Volume 2 and a Volume 3. Like I said, y'all can say I'm reaching all y'all want to, but I think that's what's going to happen. Yeah. So, with that being said, I'm going to play the last joint. Y'all already heard Shine Together. Y'all heard that joint. Like I said, classic Primo at his best.
And we might as well shine together. Like
this was another joint I was kind of iffy about.
Who else could it be? NAS, resurrect through the birth of my seed. Queensbridge, make everything right. Is it time to take off the Scully, the Timbs, and the fitted caps? Time to let go the weed, can't let the jeans sag. Ozzy Osbourne still got his fingernails black. Rock and roll is still rebels, any age that they at. But with rappers a time limit, never. I'm living proof. I'm the truth to live. I lived till 102. When I was young, I knew nothing. But then here comes a new lesson. From an older gentleman dressing Dior, he flexing. He said it's not how old you are, it's how you feel. Look here, I'm in my MX 87 still. Rasta still smoking, secluded out in the bush. Pimps still wearing their derbies, people still dipping snuff. That's how we stay true. Ways we learned in the days of our youth. Seen a man like 82, he rocked his hat age deuce. I'm going out hood, different from being a third childhood.
Now, here's what I'm going to say, and this is going to be my last thing I'm going to say. Now that I'm listening to Third Childhood, I'm finding it to be very ill. That's what I said. This album, you got to listen to it again and again and again. You have to listen to it a couple times just to get a feel, because what Nas is saying in the song is what's going to make the song stand out all on its own. He's going to make you appreciate this album. I'm telling you. Nas is going to make you appreciate this album. And the more and more you keep listening to the album, the more and more you're going to get more and more into it. So just keep your, just hold on to your hats, folks, and just vibe out, man, to some great hip hop. Just remember that, hip hop is still alive and well, man. And as long as we're breathing, man, as long as we are able to captivate moments like this, and we're able to capture these moments and bask in it, we're gonna be all right, man. That's what I said. Like, this for me was a standout. And December 12th, 2025, they couldn't have done it any better. They've given us something special. So therefore, just hang on, man, and just know that, hip hop is, alive and well, and it's up to us as the day ones, as those folks that's been rocking to this music, to this type of music, to just keep it going. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so much, there's so much in the music. You know what I'm saying? And you must appreciate the music that you grew up on, that you came up on. So with that being said, that was Third Childhood. I mean, I can let it play if I want. I mean, I could talk your head off, but I think that I gave enough, I think I gave enough of my of what I think about this album. It wasn't necessarily a reaction, but however, it was just me giving my 2 cents on two of my favorite hip hop, two of my favorite hip hop people in the whole world. Two of my favorite hip hop musicians, the MC and the producer, Nas and DJ Premier. Light Years is out. Get it on vinyl. Also, run those numbers up, man. Run those numbers up. This is what needs to be. If y'all consider this shit to be lackluster, then imagine the music that's out here today. The music out here today is trash. And yes, I came on this live, and this is like the first time in a while I even dropped in on the live, because of the fact that I'm so excited about this album that I wanted to come on here, give my 2 cents about this album, and just show y'all and just let y'all know, like, yo, man, we in for a treat. If y'all ain't listened to the album, y'all need to listen to it on all DSPs. Y'all need to listen to it. Better yet, go get the album. You know what I'm saying? Go to the Mass Appeal Instagram page. Go to Mass Appeal. Google that shit. Go run those numbers up. Get this album. Get them numbers up. You know what I'm saying? This is an album that deserves to sell. It deserves to sell. It deserves to go gold. It deserves to go platinum. It deserves to do triple multi numbers. That's it. So that's that. Go listen to this album. There's so much other stuff that's out there, but I don't know when I'm going to be back on this joint. But I just said, man, I'm going to drop in on the live, and I'm going to give my take on what I think about this album. And this album, in my opinion, on a whole, there were a few hit or misses. There were a few moments where the album dried up a bit. But then when you listen to the album again and again and again, the album is going to grow on you so much that you like, you know what? I didn't even know he said this, and I didn't even know he said this in this song. I didn't even know that this was even going on. Damn, like it's some highlights. There's a lot of highlights on this album. You know what I'm saying? But then there's also a lot of stuff that's missing. Of course, what's missing is the fact that DJ Premier, like that raw, gritty boom bap style that we always used to. But I think so many of us as fans, we have higher expectations because it's an album like this that doesn't come around too often. And you got to understand that we've been begging for this album, and for them to finally give us the album that we was looking for. And here we are. We got it. So, and so many of us coming in here with higher expectations, expecting the album to sound like this and to sound like that, when the album is only going to sound like what it's going to sound like. So you just have to just keep it in mind that, you know, we're in a second renaissance. So just hold on to your hats, man. And just, you know what I mean, take a ride. You know what I mean? Take a ride somewhere. You know what I mean? Go chill out somewhere and listen to this album and relax. That's me signing off. I wanted to give y'all my 2 cents. Appreciate it. Peace and love. Thanks.